We in the building.
Hey, everybody. So we got people tuning in already. Go ahead and drop your green hearts in the comment section. We can go ahead and get started because I'm excited about this live today. We got a bunch of men on here to answer your questions.
We in here. Oh, if y'all got it on YouTube, if y'all like, is it with y'all or us? Make sure because it's going to be a feedback.
Okay. So let me go ahead and get started. Say my little spiel. Hey, everybody. It's Army Princess here, U.S. Army soldier. I've been in the military over 10 years, and I love to share my experiences with you all. I'm excited to get this live started tonight because we got some special. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, you know how y'all do. I used to be the dude after Army Princess, but now I guess I'm part of the LLC. Y'all see it? Y'all see the shirts? We got them. We off in here. But I'm Gabriel Wilson. I am the man behind the scenes of the beautiful Army Princess. I'm in the Army, U.S. Army active duty soldier. I've been in the Army for, do the math, carry the one. I think about 16 years. Let's go with that for now. Let's go with 16 years. And then I love doing what I do. I'm stationed out here in the D.C. area, and that's all about me. So I think we're going to have the rest of the panel introduce themselves. And since we only have one Navy midshipman or corpsman, we'll let him go ahead and roll with that.
I would like to first start off by saying I'm not a corpsman. My name is Breland Young, active duty Navy. I've served for 10 years. 10 years. 10 years. I'm currently stationed in Fort Gordon. Yeah, I know somehow I end up on an Army base. I don't want to talk about it. That's all you need to know about me.
I miss Fort Gordon though.
Okay, Hollywood.
His name is Hollywood.
All right. Hey, it's your boy Rashawn Williams. I've been in the Army for about 8 years now. And I am stationed at Fort Belvoir. I am Army Princess's soldier. How I rock a beard, I don't know, but I got it. And I'll let you take the floor, my guy.
I didn't think about that.
All right.
All right, I am Sergeant First Class Bar, active duty Army, and I've been in now for 17, going on 18 years come March, and I'm ready to retire. And how about them Cowboys?
Trash.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started because we already got people asking questions. But I put up a poll earlier this week for my subscribers on my YouTube channel. I didn't put one up on Instagram. I'm going to have to do that next time. But I put up a poll for my YouTube subscribers, and there were some people that dropped some comments down in the comment section. Let me finish this. So there were some people that dropped some comments down in the comment section. So we're going to get to those questions first because I'm excited. They had some really good, juicy questions. But something else that I wanted to talk about really quick. You all know that I launched my online store. So it was been about 2 weeks now.
I think about 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks, we launched the online store, and it did amazingly well. The first night, this first half, and we did really good the first launch. So I wanted to give back and give y'all a coupon code because y'all have been rocking it on the store. There's some people that said they wanted to repurchase. And so we are going to drop a 40% off coupon code here in the live for you all to go shop. And it'll only be active during this live and maybe like 10 minutes after the live. So you can go ahead and let them know what the coupon code is or when you're going to drop it in there so they can shop during live.
So the coupon code is going to be good for the basic training note cards and all the mirror thing, the mirror lip gloss. There we go. All the gloss. Y'all get to see the new. All the mirror lip gloss will be 40% off. The coupon code will be Men Live 40. Had to represent others in here. You know, it's always female oriented. So it's good to have a little testosterone in here tonight. You know, we can talk about our men the experience we have as men. So men live 40 for you all that's in live. You all have exclusive access to that coupon code for tonight until the duration of this live. It'll be 40% off the basic training note cards and the mirror lip gloss.
And we're gonna put it in the comments because somebody said they want to buy, but they don't know how. So maybe drop the website in there as well.
Okay, got you. All right. Cool. Well, let's get it popping.
Okay, so let me go ahead with the first question. Somebody actually asked this question from YouTube. How do you manage work and family more so financially? So for the men that we have on here that have family, everybody has family. How do you all manage it financially? Because somebody was asking, can you support a family on the income? And probably I would say on a private income. You can answer that question. Go ahead.
Can I go first? All right. So the most important thing to me with that is this. If you decide that you're going to marry a woman or a man, you should be deciding that your finances are going to be together. Now, it's okay for you two to have a separate account, but it's very important for that spouse, if you should happen to deploy, go to the field, or anything like that, to be able to have access to finances to be able to take care of things. So many times I see within the military and in life in general of people that are married to people and they got two separate bank accounts and it's like my money and your money and you're supposed to be one. If you're one, then it should be our money. This way, there's no issue with the finances and there's no problem with her having to call you all the time to try to get money to pay this bill or pay that bill. And you can make it on a private salary as long as you don't try to outlive your means of income.
Yes.
Meaning you want to try and keep up with the Joneses and you own the Smith salary. Don't do that. Live within your means because you never know what type of help that they may have on the back end that you're not getting. I'm good.
Anybody else want to elaborate? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
Oh, it's like he's talking. I think he muted.
Oh, wait, is he muted?
Yeah, Hollywood, you muted. Oh.
Let's see what happened.
Okay, well, while we figure that out, I would say my advice, something that has worked well for me, is the non-deploying spouse handles the finances. Just because, so although everyone in the house definitely needs to know what all gets paid, when does it get paid on the 1st to 15th, and how much, it's always harder to come in. So if you aren't that person that's paying everything, and then the other one deploys, it's like, okay, let me pick everything up. Let me check the bank account, see what this is due. So we've always done it with who's ever not deploying at the time, especially if you're dual meal. And that seems to work pretty well because it never seems like someone has to pick it up, that they just kind of have it. And then once we rotate that responsibility. The other thing is by never living out of your means. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen junior soldiers and junior sailors be like, oh, well, my BAH is this much. So that means I can get an apartment or a house for this much. I don't advise that. I do not advise you max out your money on your living expenses. I have seen so many people make that mistake, and it comes back to haunt them almost 9 times out of 10.
Yes. That y'all hit it right on the head with don't live outside of your means. I'm telling you, because I see people do that all the time. And especially they first time getting these paychecks and they want to go buy cars straight off the lot. Soon as they get out of AIT and basic training, and then they just don't manage their money well. So
let me pick back off that. So as a new soldier coming into the Army, the best thing that you can do is not rush to get a car. I promise you, if you ain't married, you living in the barracks, and there's always somebody going to the same place that you going. So take advantage of that. Throw them $20, $30 here and there, you know what I'm saying, to help out with gas, a little bit of the maintenance. maintenance on the car and get a ride. Don't go and jump out there and go get a car, because there's plenty of places outside of the military installation that are gunning straight for you, that private, that they know gonna come out there and want that daggone Mustang, that Camaro, that Charger, or whatever that's popping at that particular point in time. So take your time, stack your paper, wait till you make E3 or E4, and then go get that car. Because I'm telling you, it's always somebody going where you want to go.
That's the truth. I never thought about that. That is always somebody.
I didn't even have a car the whole first, like at least first 6 months that I got to my first duty station.
Really, we talking about a female. We talking about a female. Niggas dying. I mean, men are dying to take you somewhere all the time. So it's easy for a woman, but for a man, it's a little bit harder. But for a woman, somebody's gonna always be like, "You need a ride, girl. Do you want to go over here? I can take you." That's what they do. So you ain't even got no problem. That was, you know what? Don't even worry about it.
Hey, I do want to give my personal shout outs. Y'all know how I do. Hey, I got to give a shout out to my bro Premier, and then my Ebony and Ivory, bro Biggs. You know, we finna start it out, and then they said, "I know we not on questions, but
is it true that?"
Boy, that question had me weak.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Ooh, that question had me weak. Why they be having them all over the place?
They call it the CCs, the Chargers, the Camaros, the 3 Cs. That's what you're gonna see.
Oh, unfortunately, on rims. But yeah, be smart with your money.
Let me go into the next question. So somebody asked the question, how do you bring your family with you? So I don't know if they were talking about like just to your duty station or maybe the AIT, I don't know, but they asked how do you bring your family with you? What's the process, I guess? Maybe when you get to your first duty station.
So what I mean, that's an open-ended question, but normally your family gets put on your orders, and then it's pretty simple. The military just takes care of all that good stuff. They'll tell you where they need to be, when they need to go. So, but the important thing is to get them put on your orders. And once you're in the military, you'll understand what that means. And then just, if you get married, if there's any change in state in your life, like getting married, having a kid, divorce, I don't know, any other changes, make sure that's properly annotated in your deed. Defense ability record system.
Real quick, let me shout out this super chat. So thank you for Jay Hagler for the super chat, the super sticker up there.
Thank you.
They donated. Make sure you go ahead and I see. Maybe we can build a pizza this week. But go ahead and shop the site. If y'all want to donate, y'all can donate in that way as well. But thank you. What'd you have, Kane?
Oh, I would. So a mistake that I've seen people make when they're bringing their families, especially when they have a working spouse, when they're trying to figure out where they're going to stay, they combine their income with their current spouse's income. A lot of times when your spouse moves to where you are, and some jobs do have, where they transfer, but a lot of times when your spouse moves, they don't have a job for like the first few months. And the military has certain things that will help them to get a job quicker. But for the first few months, you need to understand that it might only be your income. So that is not the time to think about joint income. When you first move to a duty station, especially as a junior soldier, junior sailor, you need to think about it as your own income before you think about combining your incomes. You should wait until they get their job at your first duty station.
So to piggyback off what he said, what has worked for me throughout my time being married and everything like that is that we operate as if it's only my income. Like my income is what's going to pay all the bills and everything else. So if we do move or something like that, then she's good. We're still good to go because we know the way that we're budgeting and our finances and stuff is based off of me being able to pay everything with my check. So if you kind of do it based off of that one check as to what you want, then it puts you in a better financial situation at all times when it comes to housing and stuff like that, or buying a house, whatever the case may be. If you focus it basically on that one income versus two incomes, then you'll always be good financially for the most part. Do y'all mind if I answer a question over there? Somebody asked a question that was more of a recruiting question. Hold on. How do I scroll back
Go
down?
ahead.
You know what? I'll go back in there later and see it. Go ahead.
Hey, so just so y'all know, he probably said in his intro, but y'all have a recruiter in here that's here to answer y'all latest and greatest recruiting question. But we like to give a shout out real quick.
Yes, shout out to Wilner Childs. Thank you.
That's Premier.
I know.
Just so you know.
Thank you.
We show up and show out. That's how the deuces do. That's how we do. But yeah, that's 100% facts. You know what I'm saying? I can't.
Did you
even
find
add
that
to
question,
them.
or you want to answer and come back? Okay, let me go on while you find it.
I can't figure out how to scroll back up too.
Oh, let me scroll through. But as you looking for it,
oh, we have a Navy question. So let me ask this Navy question. So somebody asked.
Oh, he's super hyped though.
Somebody asked specifically, what are the best Navy jobs? So I guess
Best
that's
Navy jobs.
for men.
I feel like that's a really hard question. Because one, the best job for you is one that you love. Even if it didn't have the best advancement, even if it does have the best advancement, the best job for you is definitely the one that you love. So I guess I answered a few different ways. I would say one of the best jobs for future is probably IT. The military has a bunch of jobs, but IT in the military is lined up directly with IT in the civilian world. So a lot of times in the military, when it's time to get out, because that's one of the things about the military. The max is 30 years, no matter what. Time to move on to the next thing. So you definitely have to think about what you're going to do next. And IT is one of those jobs where it's just like, well, let me go here directly to here. I'm going to do the exact same thing. So it's probably one of the best jobs for that. Engineering, all engineering jobs are really good if you want to be, if you're already good at working on cars and you like mechanic work and things like that. All the engineering jobs are really good. I suck at those.
CBs.
It's also really hot. I don't like being hot like that. Obviously, he mentioned it earlier, corpsmen. That's our medicals. If you want to do anything in the medical field, that's a good way to go, because then you can specialize on the specific thing that you want to do once you get to the hospital. So that's a good way to go if you want to do medical. The only job I wouldn't recommend, and if the Navy recruiting go down for this, I'm sorry. But the only job I would not recommend is if you go and you look on that piece of paper and they be like, oh, you like to weld? You should be an HT. Do not listen to that person, okay? That person is lying to you, okay? So HT stands for hull technician. Originally, they used to fix the hull of the ship. They used to do all the welding and things like that. They still do that about this much. What they actually do is what we in the Navy call them, let's be politically correct, we call them poop chasers, essentially, because they fix all the urinals on the ship. When the urinals get backed up and sometimes they explode, they have to put on the poopy suit and go fix that. I wouldn't recommend it for you. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
The dookie suit?
They put on a whole hazmat suit to go clean up.
Wow.
That's too much.
Wow.
So I got a question for each of y'all, and we can start with Hollywood, since he hasn't asked.
Welcome back.
Since he hasn't asked
about that.
What if for each of y'all, I'm gonna go around, what would be your dream job? Like if you could go back and they said tomorrow you can do whatever job you want to do in the military, what would be your dream job? What's yours, Hollywood?
You know what? As much hell that I raised sometimes being a pharmacy tech, I wouldn't change anything about it. I still like being a pharmacy tech. Do I wish that I maybe have embraced some things earlier on in my career? Maybe, yes. But I still enjoy the pharmacy tech realm, the people that I've met, the hospitals that I worked at, just gaining a grasp of knowledge from everywhere that I've been so far.
Okay.
He inspired me.
What about you, Kane?
Ooh. I'm just not a man of manual labor. So I think I would still continue to work on computers like I do now. That's gonna be, somebody's got to keep these hands nice and fresh. So yeah, I think the only thing I would do different, honestly, who y'all Navy, I love y'all, but I might have waited at that Air Force recruiting station to open. I might have. The lights was off. They never was at work, but I should have been patient. I should have been patient. That's
Okay, and Kevin? Is he talking?
Hey, bro, hey, we can't hear you, or maybe it was just us.
we can't hear.
Well,
There we go.
I would have been a respiratory therapist.
Okay.
I enjoy working with people. Can you hear me now? We good
Yeah, we can.
now?
Oh,
I just need to talk up. That's all. Okay, gotcha. All right. So I would have been a respiratory therapist. I went to school for respiratory therapy. I tried to come back into the Army as a respiratory therapist, and that didn't work. And that's just because I like working with people. And just knowing knowing as much as I know about the lungs and stuff like that, it just would have been a great field for me to be in. And at some point, I plan on going back into that field, but I'm gonna have to take me some refresher courses. So if any of y'all go to any schools for nursing, respiratory therapy, or anything like that, take that test as soon as you graduate, because if not, it's tough after that. Because it's constantly changing. It's constantly changing. That's it for me.
Okay. Did you have something you want to change, or you like your job?
I'm with Kane. Outside is hot in the summer and cold in the winter. So I like a job where the equipment that I work with have to be climate controlled. Therefore, I have to be climate controlled.
No, I agree. Shoot. I'm inside for a reason.
Oh, hold on. We have it's on first class bar.
What's up?
So I found a degree. Does that mean that you get a better job? No, it does not mean that you get a better job just because you have a degree. Because you still have to take the ASVAB. You still have to take the ASVAB. So if you can't pass the ASVAB and you can't score high enough on the ASVAB, then you having that degree means nothing. Zero.
That's true. Good one. Hey, that's good advice right there. So we have a recruiter that'll give it to you straight, no chaser.
Yes. Okay, so real quick, intermission. So we got like 30 people in here and only 8 likes. So can y'all go ahead and hit the like button for your girl, please? And then for the people that's just now joining, there was a 40% off coupon code that you gave. You may have to put it back in there because it's kind of all the way at the top. But it's available for the people that want to purchase from the Armyprinncess Collection, and we're gonna only have it active during this live. So yeah, you had something you wanted to say, Kane?
Oh no, just essentially how important the ASVAB is. So actually, I think it was my salutatorian. It wasn't my valedictorian. I think it was my salutatorian, or I think she was like 2 people under her. She really wanted to join the Navy. Was real big, heavy on Navy, very smart in school. It was just something about that ASVAB. It was just it was a little difficult for her. Yeah, she didn't make it. She didn't make it. But yeah, that ASVAB is important. Yeah.
All right, so we got some questions for like, I don't know if anybody on here is single, or I guess some of y'all been single at some point during your military career. So somebody asked,
he said no. You was never single? No, I'm trying to find out. I wasn't, babe. I was waiting for you the whole time.
Absolutely.
Somebody asked some questions for the single men. They just said, what is advice for single men joining the military and tips for dealing with the females?
Stay away. Other than you.
Williams, you want to elaborate a little bit, or you I don't know, you may be booed up.
I got you. Rule number 1.
I ain't got nothing to say.
Oh, okay.
I let them expose themselves first.
Go ahead, Kane. What you got?
Rule number 1 is please
So
practice
yeah,
safe
that's
sex,
a
right?
really good thing.
And when I say this, it is because something about the water in boot camp for all the branches it just heightens your sperm for some reason. I don't care what you've been doing your whole life, but some reason after you get out of boot camp, it's just like, oh, it's a lot of kids in the military. I'm gonna put it that way. So if you're not ready to have kids, trust me, it's something in the boot camp water. I don't know what it is. It's in there. It's safe sex.
It's that 3 months that's in the water that you sit there doing nothing. Do you get home and boop, I got a kid now, don't I?
Oh, somebody put boot camp in deployments.
He right, it's in the water.
So he said, make sure you watching yourself after you get out of basic training. What else?
I can.
Listen, I'm gonna tell, and just to stick to the boot camp like level real quick. If you're going there
So
with a spouse, with a
you,
girlfriend,
you want me to go now?
stay with them. Don't move. Don't be interested in nobody else. None of that. That's temporary.
So
Don't get attracted. Yeah.
you going Williams?
No, you good.
All right. So what?
I don't know why I said delay.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Chance, can you hear us? Let me see if it's on ours.
He's lagging.
Oh, he's like, I'm gonna text him.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, I see it.
Mhm.
We can talk about this.
You good? Go ahead.
Well, until he ready.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead.
You good, sir?
I'm gonna text him. I'll text him. But hey, we can. I'm gonna mute him real quick and then text him.
All right.
You
tell him
could
to
go
come
ahead,
back.
Williams.
But go ahead, Williams.
All right. Like I said, to stay on that real quick. You basic. Like you said, you will come out with a kid. If you ain't do what you're supposed to do. If you're married, stay married. I'm giving y'all weekend briefing, by the way. Don't drink and drive. And make sure if you do have a problem, call your battle.
Oh, there you go.
That's some good advice. Make sure you call your battle buddy. You ain't got to try to do everything by yourself because you're going to have some good times, especially when you get out of basic and AIT.
Did you?
I did. Sure did.
Yo, so I'm gonna give you a golden ticket, right? Do not underage drink. Don't do it with your friends. Y'all gonna be like, oh, well, we all underage drinking together. Don't do it because what's gonna happen? Somebody gonna get in trouble. It's gonna be one person, and then all of y'all gonna get in trouble.
Oh, that's
Every
Especially in the
time,
barracks.
especially in the barracks. It don't take but one person to get in trouble, and the whole barracks going up. Like just don't do it. Just wait till you're 21 or go on deployment. Different rules on deployment. Anyway,
I'm not.
just don't do it.
I'm not.
Well, I gotta put this this good comment in here because this is a little nugget here. Don't get married straight out of boot camp at AIT and tech school. Wait a smooth year first.
They got married.
This guy.
But see,
Let you know that it's real first before you do anything.
what'd you say, Williams?
Don't have the baby first, then pop. Don't have the baby first, then pop the question after.
I feel like you got.
There's nothing wrong with that order.
Oh well, Kane heard it. So that means subscribers heard
Okay.
it. We just didn't. But what was the next thing?
Okay, let me go on with the next question because y'all gave some good tips. So that rolls into deployment. So somebody asked, how do you deal with deployments? I guess for the men. I don't know if they're talking about just like being away from loved one or just in general. Anybody want to elaborate on that? You was deployed.
I'll let them go first. Because I like to talk and I belabor the point.
I'll go first. How do you deal with deployments? All honesty, one day at a time. That's the best way to deal with deployments. One day at a time. And I won't say it sounds bad, but it's the truth. You almost have to separate yourself into two people. So you have to have your person that's on deployment, and then you have to have the person that essentially misses and reaches back to your family. Because because that does cause like depression and things like that when you start to miss your family and something like that. So your routine is the best way. When you're standing watch, you're working out, you're doing school, whatever you have to do to stay busy and get your routine and take it one day at a time. Look up, it's been 6 months. Look up, it's been a year. Time to go back, or 9, 10 months, depending on deployment. But just one day at a time.
Yep. That's the truth. So what we talking about, Chance, is how to deal with deployments. I think I've said this before, whether it's in a video or a live. So for me, deployments seem to be tougher on the family that's back home than the soldier, because you get so consumed with working 12, 14, 16-hour days, then you don't, it sounds bad, but you don't really have time to miss your family per se. Not as much time as your family that misses you from the day-to-day routine. So, but everything Kang said, get you a routine when you're deployed, whether it's working out, get you an outlet, and just wait till the end. It'll get there. You'll be home before soon enough. I'm saying. I've been deployed a long time now. You want to add to that? Oh, go ahead, Kane.
I would say one of the positives of deployment is there will never be another time in your life where you have that much time to work on you. So obviously during deployment, you have to do things for the military, for the greater good and all that. But when you're not doing that, when you're off watch or whatever, you could read whatever book, you could work out as much as you want. There will never be another time in your life. Well, unless you're single. I don't want to say that. There will never be another time in your life where you have that much time to just work on you. So just kind of focus on that and let that drive you one day at a time to finding something to do.
Look at him with the wisdom.
That's
just
a good response.
Boy, it must be the crown.
So, can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
we got you now.
All right.
Yeah.
So one thing that you can definitely do is, like he said, work on yourself. Go to college while you're deployed, because you have so much free time till it isn't funny. And no matter where you deploy at some point they always implement a college area to where you can go and see somebody to get into different colleges and stuff like that, and start taking classes and courses and stuff to advance yourself. So there should be no excuse. If you go on a deployment, the next thing you should be doing is signing up for some college course, whether you do it online or if they have an education center set up on that installation or that FOB that you're at while you're deployed, and take advantage of that time to do it. Because if you do have a family, you won't have any interference at that point in time, because when you contact a family, you can contact them. So you wouldn't have any excuses or anything like that. You can work on it, do what you got to do, go out on your missions and everything like that. And the other thing is, when you deploy, oh my God, you eat real good. Believe it or not. I feel like we eat more on deployments than we do in the States. I'm serious. Because they have everything set up on deployments. You got your Taco Tuesdays, Soul Food Thursdays, Surf and Turf Fridays. What's Monday? Just any old day. Like everything is catered towards trying to make you as a soldier, and I can imagine as a Navy petty officer, sailor, the same thing. It's geared towards trying to make you as comfortable as possible while you're on this deployment. So enjoy it, have fun, invest your money. So go back to something that single people can do. If you're single, even if you're married, so this is something for single people and married people. When you come into the military, the very first thing that you really want to do is start investing, whether it be the thrift savings plan,
Yeah,
Roth IRA, CDs, something. Invest in something, because while you're young coming in and you're investing, that money, yeah, you might miss it at first, but you're not really going to miss it as much as you think. So the sooner you invest, the better you are off in your future. So when you do get that family, or if you have that family, at some point you're going to want to buy a house. This money is stacking and building up for you to be able to do that. So invest in yourself as soon as possible, which would be basically when you first come into the military for some, and for others, as soon as you graduate from high school or you get that job while you're still in high school. Figure out how you can start investing, because everything doesn't require $500 to $600 to invest in yourself.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And someone brought up the, I think it's the TSP. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but it's the where you put $2,500 a quarter away, and then you get 10% of that money back. So pretty much you put $10,000 into an account, pretty much, and you get a 10% return. You get $1,000 back at the end of the year, and that's a very, very good program. One of the best return on investments that you can get out there, pretty much guaranteed return on investment. So there's a lot of good financial moves that you can make, especially while you're deployed and saving money. That is a very, very important thing you should do. Did y'all have anything to add on that one?
I'll say, when I say get a hobby, please don't let one of those hobbies be the person who has 22 Amazon boxes coming to deployment every month. Please don't blow your money on Amazon. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I feel you. That's true.
Save your money. Somebody put it in the comments. Save your money, especially when you're in deployment. You can easily save at least $15,000. At least.
But that was good. That was good advice, definitely for deployment, especially college, and investing in yourself. That was good. Did you want to go to the next one?
Yeah, I got one more question, and then we're gonna open it up for question and answer because we already at 37.
Okay, cool.
So how to emotionally prepare your children and family for you to go to the military?
Ooh. That's good. We got somebody leaving for basic training in a week. Get ready. You got this. So
first off, you have to make sure that you and your spouse communicate, or you and your family communicate, and that y'all are on the same sheet of music, and everybody knows that this is what you want to do, and they're supporting you in doing this. It makes the transition that much easier and that much smoother. Like, for example, myself right now, I'm getting ready to go through a transition period. I'm getting ready to go to Washington. My wife and I, we have talked about it and everything. We communicated about it. And, although it's never easy to leave anyone, the fact that you talked about it, you had conversations about it, you started developing plans on how everything is going to go, makes this transition go a little bit smoother and a little bit easier, because now, prior to me leaving, I know that I'm going to set different things in place to make their life easier while I'm gone. And then as I move forward to Washington, I'm going to get other things set up there so that when they decide to come, then it's going to be a smooth transition for them as well. So communication is the key in this process.
I would also say, let them know, just think positive. Tell them to focus on the positives. Let them know what your goals are and what you're working towards, because it becomes more of like you said, communication. It becomes more of a group project, not something that you're doing, and then they're not so worried. Basic training is not a big scary life-changing event. It will improve you and improve your life, but when you're going to the military, you do come back to real life. You get time off. You just going off to become a better person to serve in the military. Serve your country. So I like the communication part, and I like the positivity part. Sometimes the military has a negative connotation, a little bit. And some people are just scared because of what they see in the movies.
It's not like Full Metal Jacket. People ask me that all the time.
Or Major Pain.
Thank you.
Nah.
What about the Navy? Anybody scared when you go to like boot camp in the Navy? I heard y'all eat good though, so it's not a bad thing.
First off, you're being funny, and we get the same food as everybody else. It's real. You learn how to add hot sauce and barbecue sauce to everything. But I think so there's two things I've seen people do. One, especially if you have a spouse, a stay-at-home spouse, it could be a lot harder just because no one likes for the only human interaction they get to be around kids, especially if you just gotten there. There will be times when your spouse moves to where you are and then you deploy. So they haven't had time to make friends. They have no one else in the area. For those people, I would recommend everyone's deploying. So there's a lot of other wives or husbands that are staying local as well. And I know a lot of times they tend to group together and meet up and do things at the park and do a lot of things together. And another thing I've seen people do is they record their voice and put it in a teddy bear for their kids. So when their kids really miss them, they can just squeeze the teddy bear and hear their voice. I've heard good things from that. I've heard a lot of people that like that. But definitely communication.
That's some good tips.
Over here plugging in Build-A-Bear. I heard Build-A-Bear is expensive too.
I don't know if it's Build-A-Bear, but there is something I did something similar to that.
What happened? What'd you do?
Oh, well, like when I got to my first duty station, I was out in Hawaii, and I had just had my son. I wasn't able to go home. So I sent him a bear that was able to like have my voice, or I can update it anytime I want to through an app. And then I also sent them like a what they call a daddy doll. So he was so young, he can see my face all the time on the it's just like a little cutout of you in the uniform onto a front of like a little pillow type of thing almost.
That's kind of cool because I know a lot of people miss the first year of their child's life. So that's some good tips for, people that just had a baby and then they have to leave or whatever the case may be, so that they can still keep in touch with their kids and their family, loved ones. So
it's hard. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, it's hard, but you know what I mean, like once some kids able to start talking and such, I feel like it makes it a little bit easier, because of course when you have a baby and then a toddler, like the baby can't express to you that they love you or say things to you. It's just goo goo gaga. But 2-3 years old, you start seeing it, and they start realizing who you are more and more. So don't fret, don't be scared. Like they gonna know who you are. Just keep trying to contact, keep trying to talk, whatever situation may be. Just do your best to be in their lives, and you'll be all right.
That's good advice. Yeah.
Yeah, what you got, Chan?
Hey, so Kang said something that was really important. Kang said something that was really important just a little while ago about people deploy and their family just get there. So, you have some people that frown upon it, but it can be a great source. FRG, Family Readiness Group.
Yeah.
So when you first get to a location, if you're about to deploy, it's a good thing to hook your spouse up. There are some people who are good people that will actually guide your wife the right way and be that friend that she needs while you guys deploy. So definitely contact FRG. It stands for Family Readiness Group, so that you can get your assistance that you may need for your spouse, whether it be male or female spouse. They can get the assistance that they need from the FRG. What schools are in the area that they may need to go to, the daycares, doctors, different things of that nature. The FRG is there to assist families with. Even if you're not deploying, even if you just get to the unit and they're not deploying, but this spouse needs information, the FRG is there to give that spouse information. So despite what you may have heard and stuff like that, there are some good aspects to the FRG. And I say hook your spouse up as soon as possible with the FRG so that they can get different information that they may need that you may not be tracking. Because I know for me, as men, we don't always think about the little things that women think about for the kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that is where that FRG would definitely come in handy, because she's going to have questions that you're not going to even dream of thinking about because you're focused on your job.
Yep.
I don't know what they call it in the Navy or the Air Force, but you know, that'd be a good tool to use.
So like family fleet support something?
It's still FRG. Don't make things up.
I thought no.
Don't make things up. And you tried to add fleet to it, you just knew that was gonna be right, huh? Yeah, it's probably fleet something.
It sounds real too.
There is a thing. There's like a family fleet support center or something. Don't do me.
It's a whole center though. That ain't what we talking about.
All right, so let's get into the questions because we have people dropping questions all up and through.
Oh,
here.
somebody said ACS too, which
Yes,
is a
ACS.
good resource. ACS.
Good questions.
Yeah.
So if I can, I'll answer these two questions I saw.
This might be a question for Kevin.
Oh. Okay, so
take my spot.
No matter what your MOS is, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got
y'all can hear me.
Yep, you good.
Okay, so no matter what your MOS is, if you want to do airborne, it's a matter of just simply dropping a packet. Now, some jobs try to pretend like you can't get airborne, but airborne is a volunteer school. You can volunteer for it, get you a school slot, and go to airborne. That's any MOS.
I didn't know that.
Because they always need people to jump out of planes. So if you want to jump out of a plane, by all means, fill out that packet, volunteer, go right ahead. I ain't jumping out of nothing.
Me.
Perfectly good plane. Why would I
wait
jump
till
out?
that little ramp comes down.
Bingo.
Did you have something, Kane?
Yeah, so I saw two of them. It said, this is from CC Gar. I want to become a AST rescue swimmer in the Coast Guard that has an A school. So it's A school like college. Yes and no. So A school, if you've ever heard it referred to on Army Princess channel, she probably referred to it as AIT. It's the exact same thing. AIT and A school is the exact same thing. Would I say A school is like college? Yes. Let me be more specific. A school, not in the Army, but in the Navy and Coast Guard, A school is more like college. You get more freedom than they do in the Army. With that being said, it's like college times 20, right? Because in college, a lot of people are broke. In A school with freedom, people have money. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, you have money for alcohol, hotel rooms, whatever. Exactly. But A school and AIT is the exact same thing. It's just a school that's going to further teach you your job. You do not learn your job in boot camp. Boot camp is not for you to learn your job. It's for you to learn the ways of the military. Your A school will actually teach you your job and everything you need to know about your job from a book standpoint. And then you will go to the fleet and they'll teach you your actual job, because sometimes it's actually different. For rescue swimmers, it's actually pretty similar. So your A school will be your job. But for some jobs in the Navy, what you do in A school and what you do in the fleet kind of differ sometimes.
Rescue swimmer.
I think the people who have it the hardest in AIT is actually the Army. Versus because like Air Force and Navy, they pretty much got free roam to kind of do whatever they want to do. And whereas Army is still like an extended boot camp almost. Like they even put drill sergeants into AIT now, whereas when I went through, they didn't have drill sergeants at AIT. So it's still going through your common courtesies and everything on a daily basis, trying to, I guess, polish up the soldier to be a better soldier versus Air Force and everybody else that's running amok here. Well,
he said running amok.
Hey, sometimes it's fun to be amok, you know. Hey.
He talking about y'all in San Antonio. That's what he talking about. Y'all was out there running amok. That's what he's talking
Margaritas.
Exactly.
I sure was. Party every weekend.
See, I was reading my Bible.
Okay, we got a question about the TSP plan. Can you still put money into it after you leave the Army?
No, but it will accrue interest. So you can get a IRA through your next employer, but your TSP that you have in the Army, I'm pretty sure this is correct, but you can always double check with Google. But your TSP that you're in the Army will still accrue interest.
Okay.
So that's why it's really important while you're in to max out your TSP. And this is something that we're just learning ourselves, you all. But especially the Roth IRA, I'm not trying to get too far into the numbers, but the military gets taxed so far less than civilian world. So if you make your contributions based off of your tax bracket now and get taxed now for your retirement, once you get out and you start making way more money and you start pulling that money, it's not taxed. So right now, if you're making $50,000 of taxable income in the military, on the outside world, that's equivalent to about $70,000, $80,000 on the outside world. So, and that's where you're at now. But if you think later on, 20 years from now, you're going to continue to make more money. So you're looking at getting taxed at the $90,000, $100,000 bracket. So make your contributions now, get taxed on it now, and then pull that money when you're 50, 55 at a tax-free rate. That was a lot of nerd speak for contribute to your Roth IRA right now.
So this next one from CC Gar, because you got some chance?
Yeah. So the Roth, when anything that deals with the Roth, like Roth TSP or Roth IRA, that's after taxes. So that money right there should not be taxed except for the interest that is accrued on it after the fact. So if you do a regular TSP, that's before taxes. If you do a Roth TSP or a Roth IRA, that's after taxes. So anything that's in there is your money, with the exception of the interest that is accrued later on. And usually that interest is somewhere between 1% and about 5%, depending on what type of company you're dealing with.
Yep.
That is what you'll be taxed for.
Yep, 100%.
All right. On to the next one.
That man's smart.
That's good knowledge. So I just want to answer this one real quick by CC Gar. Do you have to go to college in the military? No, you don't have to, but you would be a fool if you didn't. You should. You better. Please do. But that was my little spiel on that one. That was an easy one. You don't have to know, but you definitely should take advantage of the opportunity.
So I will say the only time I've ever seen what I'm about to say is the Air Force. I've seen places in the Air Force that highly recommend you get your college, where essentially like you come in for work and you work on college. And if you don't work on college, you do other things. So essentially they set it up for you to get your college. But I've only ever seen that in the Air Force.
And then you got the Army on the other hand too, where they give you like tuition assistance and everything else like that. So like I came in personally with a criminal justice degree. Currently I'm in school right now using my TA, taking advantage of that and some of the grants, collecting my master's in public health. So take advantage of that free money because it ain't cheap. I had to pay for my first degree by myself, so I do have student loan stuff going on. So if you can get it for free, go for it. Get it for free. You don't have to do it. But anybody that's around me personally, I encourage, from the Navy to Army is majority who I work with. I try to get every last one of the younger people or people that's even thinking about it to try to even just start it so you can get your AA and go from there. Take that free money.
I'll also say when it comes to taking out loans, I don't know if the Army has. I know the Navy used to and still does have a program where they'll pay off a percentage of your student loans. Now, the thing about this is only a one-time thing. You can only get this done before you join. It has to be in your contract. After you go to boot camp, it's over. Like it has to be done before you go to boot camp. And it's a maybe they will, maybe it won't. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. They always have a program, but it only has X amount of money a year. So if you catch it, then you catch it. But you can only do this program before you go. So if someone says, oh well, you can do this later on, because I know someone that they did that. It was oh well, they'll do it for you at boot camp. No, this has to be some things they will do for you at boot camp. This is not one of them. That has to be done before boot camp, and also if you did ROTC or you got college credits or whatever, and we'll give you E2 or E3, they'll do it at boot camp. That's something else that they will not do at boot camp. That has to be done before you boot
camp. Okay.
And that program is called the LRP, the Loan Repayment Program. And yes, it's on. I think it's like 10 grand that they pay towards your student loan. I think it's yearly. So the more time that you're in, they'll just keep paying it off. And yes, I learned the hard way. It's not something that you can do afterwards. You have to do it beforehand, or they're gonna stick you with the GI Bill, which you can still use. But depending on what your situation is, you might want the LRP versus the GI Bill.
What you got, Chance?
So, for most people, when they're entering the military, I'm a recruiter. So my conversations are, what is your goal and what is your purpose? If you need student loans repaid, then 9 times out of 10, the best avenue or the best option for you would be the reserves, because the reserves offer more student loan repayment money for the soldier.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I have a 18-year-old student who's going into the military right now. He's doing the reserves. He's going to get a $7,000 signing bonus, and then he has $30,000 in student loan repayment. So he's going to college right now. His college is already paid for, $30,000. His school doesn't even really cost that much. So any money that he spends now out of his pocket, he has to do, hold on to that. Make sure his name is on that student loan stuff. Boom, submit that paperwork. The Army giving that money right back to him. He good to go. Now, active duty. Sometimes you can be fortunate enough to get something that does some student loan repayment on active duty, but you have to score very high on the ASVAB in order to qualify for some of that student loan repayment money. And people always say, oh, I got a degree, this, that, and the third. But the ASVAB is key. It is very important. And it's an 8th grade level test, to be honest with you. A lot of questions deal with stuff that you learned early on in your years of school. Talking 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, 6th grade, where you learned about shapes. You learned about fractions, decimals, percents. What else? There's a couple other different things out there, but it's all stuff that you learn back between that 1st grade year up to your junior high. And then they have some questions in there that deal with your pre-algebra, your calculus and stuff like that, but it's not a whole lot. Most of it is centered around that stuff that you learned that's dormant in your mind that you ain't thought about because you're more focused on the math and stuff that you have going on now. So the higher you score on the ASVAB, the better job opportunities you get, the better chance you have of getting student loan repayment to pay for your college education. I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. My bad. Go ahead.
That's very good.
I got a question because I'm curious now. So if say for instance I got out right now and I went to the reserves, would that same offer still be up on the table for myself?
That's a good question.
No, sir. You are prime service at this point. So your guidelines are different. Prime service don't get the same treatment as somebody coming in off the street.
That's like how the cable companies do you. They be like, no, this price is for new customers.
Right. I be like, well, cancel my subscription and let me buy it again.
Yeah, exactly. I almost went 30.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I wish it worked like that.
All right, you want to answer this question that's on the screen? Because I don't know if we like specifically answer her question.
To invest your money when entering, I would say this. I mean, that's a very loaded question. The best way to invest your money is to just put it in a savings account. I mean, just to be honest, the when you're first starting out, the best way to invest your money is to stay away from debt. And that's all debt. And the reason why I say put it in a savings account is because I'm gonna try to stay out of nerd speak. But the safest investment is a savings account. When you go up from there, it's a mutual fund, and then you get into stocks and all that other stuff, or CDs and stocks. But a mutual fund return on investment is probably 1 to 3%. When you go buy a car, your APR starts at about 3, 4, 5% if you have good credit. So if you're investing in a mutual fund and getting 2% return on investment, but you're paying on a car loan, which is at 4, 5, 6%, then you're spending money. You're losing money in your APR. So that's why anybody that start, I know investment is very important and it sounds cool, but anyone that's starting, you want to get all your debt out. Anything more than a house, anything less than a house, you want no debt. Then once you at that point and you say, I have no car payment, I have no revolving debt, no credit card payments, then we can start talking about investments. We can start talking about mutual funds, CDs, and things of that nature. But I mean, to honestly tell you, and it's probably the boring answer, if the best way to invest your money when you enter in the military, put in a savings account, and then when you go buy your car, now you can buy your car for cash.
And a TSP.
Yes, okay. So everything I said, yeah, TSP. Put your money away, TSP, off rip. Minimum 10% in your TSP of your base pay. Minimum. But I'm sorry, I get real like into it about the money. That's why she threw that at me.
So it looks like we got one last question, and this is, what is advice for people who are done with their contract?
Oh, I didn't even see Sierra in there. What up, Sierra? That's one of the deuces in there. And OG Billy Mills.
Oh yeah,
he always in here. Sorry, done with their contract.
I don't know. I guess if they about to get out.
Oh, okay, hold on. So I read her question earlier and I wanted to go to. So I think what she's talking about is she's already finished her contract to go in. Because she asked the question earlier that says, because I still have it pinned. It says, I got a job as a chaplain assistant. Is that a good job for the civil world too? And then she said, I'll leave for basic in a week. So she's the one leaving for basic. So I'm guessing she's asking, her contract is already done. What? So if your contract is already done, your contract is already done. There's really it's not many changes you can make. He can probably answer the question better. Now I can tell you about the chaplain assistant. The job that you have is a good job. Essentially, it's exactly what it sounds like. So when you ask, is it a good job for the civil world too? Essentially, what it transfers to is a secretary and administration. It's an administrative type job. It does deal with the chaplain, so you will work directly with a chaplain. So you will learn a lot about different religions and what words not to say more than what words to say and things like that. But more than anything, it translates to assistant or administrative type job. So it has a good it transfers well to the civilian world.
It does.
You had a friend that was a chaplain assistant.
I did. That's my man, Larry Johnson. But I need to reach out to him. Also, Chance, I do have a question about that contract. So
what?
Yeah, I do want to get to this.
I don't know what that is.
Well, I don't know if he's from America, is he? I don't know if he's US. But hey, Chance, if you signed your contract and you're done, can you still take the necessary steps to go from like E1 to E2, like possibly prepare for that PT test and take that PT test and take E2 before you go to basic training? I think it's delayed again.
So yes, there are promotions available prior to going off to basic training. Can you hear me now? All right. So there are ways for you to get a promotion. There's a couple different ways. So one way is completing the online training. that they have under futuresoldiertraining.com. That's one way. Another way is referrals, referring people to join. So if you get somebody to join the United States Army before you go off to basic training, then you can be promoted from E1 or E2, whichever rank you may be at that particular point, to E3. E3 is the highest we go right now. At one time we did do E4, but E3 is the highest that we go right now.
Good.
So you can be promoted to E3 by doing referrals, online training, or if you've had JROTC. So if you've had JRTC in your time, then initially coming in, because we get your college transcripts and stuff like that. So initially coming in, you would come in as an E2. Then if you mess around and you refer somebody or you complete that online training, all of the requirements, and pass PT tests and stuff, then you're able to be promoted to E3 before you leave to go off to basic training. Once you get to basic training, ain't nothing we can do for you, because at that point, it's not in our world to promote you. That's up to them at that point. So everything that you need for promotions that's coming from the recruiters aspect of it has to be done prior to.
And now they promote people in basic training, because my soldier just came to me from basic training with a waiver that he got to promote him because he was like the platoon sergeant, and I guess he worked well like on the PT test that they did. So they promoted him in basic training.
Nice.
Yeah, the Navy does that too. They promote like X amount of people per. We offer to make jokes, but they promote X amount of people like per division and also per ship. Technically, in boot camp, the different buildings that you're in boot camp are considered different ships. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, my ship was ship 07. But yeah, But also the difference between the Navy is if you do 4 years of JRTC, it's automatic E3. So I think he said y'all's was E2, but the Navy is E3 if you do 4 years of JRTC.
So
anything less than 4 years is E2.
So that's good for that person. You signed your contract, you get one more person to join, then you get promoted.
Go hustle somebody.
No. She's in the Navy, and the Navy is not one. I think it's like 3. See, either 3 or 5. It's not one. It's not one.
They might as well send her to recruiting school. 5 people.
You got to get it, man. Everybody want to be Army strong. So, hey, we got to work hard out here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, probably because y'all go to basic training on a ship in the building.
See, that's why I didn't want to bring it up.
So let me go back. So if you have 2 years of ROTC, that's E2. But if you have 4 years, then we're gonna give you E3 too. Don't try to slide us like that on the slick tip. You know what I'm saying? I see you, petty officer. Don't do that. We here. We gonna give you E3 too if you get E4. You know, if you get 4 years of ROTC, don't do that. We here. Go ahead, y'all.
I don't know about this online basic training. I don't know if that's.
I'm sorry, man. How is this dude doing online basic training? I'm sorry.
I feel like
no, because I really want to know. So maybe he can elaborate.
Can we bring him in?
That's like, Air Force stuff.
I want to know. I want to know.
I mean, they was doing BLC online this year, so I mean, I guess anything's possible.
Listen.
Now I know the Navy had a holding, so when you went off the boot camp, you were just essentially in a hotel for a while due to COVID. They weren't shipping anybody out, but they weren't stopping you from coming in. So you were just like in boot camp hotel. Oh, wow. But until you got the chance to hold up.
Well, OG Millie Mills, if you can expound upon that in the comment sections, we are anxiously awaiting on that. But while we wait, hey, don't forget y'all can shop at armyprincess.com. That's princess with 2 N's. I'm still, if anyone knows the person who owns the domain Army Princess with 1 N, tell her I'm trying to reach out to her to get that domain, because I am trying to buy that domain. Let me tell you, Kang knows how important that is. It's killing me.
And if anybody else have any questions, go ahead and drop your questions. If anybody want to ask a question in person, let us know.
So real quick before, I don't know when we close it, but let's go around. What is your best experience in the military?
Who y'all? Let me go first. Let me go do my Navy recruiting real quick. All right. So I will say the biggest difference between most military deployments. So I think I'm the only Navy. Everybody else difference between Navy and Army deployments. So in the Navy, obviously you deploy on a ship. I won't say obviously because there are other ways of deploying, but most common one is you deploying on the ship into the ocean. With that being said, you do not stay in the ocean for 9 to 12 months. We do what's called port calls, where you get to pull in for X amount of days, and that's probably the funnest time you will have in the Navy. I've been to Dubai, I've been to Rhoda, Spain, I've been to England, I've been to Oman, I've been Seychelles, I've been a bunch of different places, and this was on deployment. So while I was on deployment, we pulled into these different places, and it's amazing. You get to see that country for, like I said, X amount of days. Depending on your rank, you have what we call Cinderella Liberty, which means you go out during the day and you have to be back by 12 o'clock, which is why we call it Cinderella Liberty. And the reason why you have to do that is because the old Navy didn't know how to act. So we have liberty. But there are things you can do where you can route. I'm not going to get into the weeds on Navy talk, but you can route administrative things to stay overnight and things like that. But just to say, you will see a lot of different countries and get to immerse yourself in that country on Navy deployment. So yeah.
Oh, I want to go to Seychelles now. We're gonna have
Seychelles
to go.
Seychelles has the best rum. It's called Takamaka rum. It's delicious. It's amazing. Yeah.
I'm gonna try that.
I want to go.
What about you, Williams?
Shoot. I would say when I was out in Hawaii, actually, like just the people there was amazing. A lot of the civilians that I dealt with, very loving, caring. The island was amazing. The different types of foods. Don't be like, if you go on a deployment or you go somewhere like kind of, Hawaii isn't foreign, but if it's foreign to you, don't go there and eat like Burger King and stuff like that. Go try some of the different culture stuff. Like go to a luau, like go try some sushi. Like be open-minded about it because you don't know where you're gonna be next. Because now I'm at Fort Belvoir. I miss the hell out of Hawaii. So I miss being able to go to the beach anytime, cross the island, and go do whatever. So like that was one of my best experiences. A lot of the hikes that we had. Yeah, it was just fun. So I would definitely say that would be my best experience. Just experience the experience while you're there is what I'm saying.
Oh, that's good.
That's good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Real good. Kevin?
You got big shoes to fill.
Yeah. Hey, man, I'd have to say I agree with my brother right there. Hawaii? Oh my God. That was my first duty station. When I tell you,
Me too.
You know what?
Me
Just know
too.
that was my best experience. 1999.
Coming in for 2000?
For the 2000.
PG 13.
1999 for 2000.
PG 13 stories.
You know what? I don't even go to Hawaii no more, man. I went for my daughter's graduation and hurried up and got up out of there.
What you meant to say is you can't
It's
go to
real
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
It's
real in
Hawaii. Well, I don't know about King, but for Army, all of us been to Hawaii. That's kind of crazy, but
I was flying through, so that don't count.
well, I did my BOC in Hawaii,
I'm
and
offended.
yes, I went TDY to Hawaii, did BOC, and then I took. You can take leave when you TDY en route. So of course, since I'm here, I might as well take a few days of leave. It was so much fun, enjoying the island, seeing the island. Got to go to the beach, go to the movies, go out to eat. So I enjoyed it, and it had the NEX is nice.
Yes, I used to work at the
say it one more time.
NEX.
One more time.
Is
The naval.
Is there
exchange?
BLC still over there by that little cable company? Is there BLC still over there
It's like
by that little cable company? Yeah, but you gotta leave off Schofield
Yeah.
Barracks, and I think you go to the right, and then down the road you make a left somewhere down through there. There's a little cable coming down through there, and it's back off in there in the cut.
Yep.
Oh boy, you had a good BLC then.
Yeah, I have.
Why Williams?
Did you go to all nighter while you were there?
To where?
Did you get a chance to go to all nighter on Hickam?
It always cuts out.
The all nighter on Hickam.
No, I didn't go. We didn't go to no clubs or anything.
Can you hear me?
To eat. We went out to eat and to the movies and stuff like that.
The all nighter. Oh, was it a 4-day weekend while you was there? Let me say that.
No, I wasn't there for a 4-day.
Oh, so you missed out on that. And for the record, the Air Force actually has the best PX over there in Hawaii.
It is.
Just to let y'all know.
Hawaii got the best PX.
What is the Army exchange rate? It's like down here. Like,
Hey,
like down here.
We better than the
Marines.
Marines. We better than the
Down
Marines.
there.
We better than the Marines, so you gotta stay on screen, okay? We better than the Marines.
I will add one more thing about Hawaii, since we there. I mean, like when I was there too, they did some TV shooting at the hospital, for instance, at TMC. I think it's Hawaii 5-0 they was shooting out there. So like if you was in the area, then you could go and be on the scene in the ER and be an extra or something like that. They also did, I forget what the show was called at the moment, but it did like a show with The Rock, Kevin Hart, all the people from Jumanji and a bunch of bands put on the show for all the military out at Hickam actually. And so like it was just a lot of things. I had been to a concert in forever in a day. So being able to go and experience that, like it was all love. And if somebody don't give you a lay when you show up to that island, those people don't care about you. You hear me?
Yes, you need to get a lay when you get off the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. I don't know if we still doing questions, but I do like so the one person that's getting ready to join the Navy asked about travel, best way to use your leave. Do not go home. Oh, okay, let me say this. Only go home if you're going to see your mama or your daddy.
Or your kids.
Or your kids. That's it. And you need to go see them. Take care of your mom and your take care of your family, but your friends can come see you.
Okay, let me elaborate on this one. I can talk about this one. So my very first duty station was Japan. Do you know Japan to Detroit is literally no less than 10 hours? That's a 10-hour flight one way from Narita Airport in Japan and Tokyo to Detroit Airport. And I did that trip every year that I was in Japan, 10 hours to go home to see my friends that was doing the same stuff they was doing when I left. I could have used that flight to go to the Philippines,
Thailand.
to go to Thailand, to go all over the Pacific. But I went back to Michigan. Now looking back, I wish I would have used that money and those flights and that leave time to go travel. So please go. When you use your leave, go on vacation, go travel, go see things that you've never seen before. And like he said, unless you're going home to see like a loved one and they on their deathbed or something like that, like if you can wait a year, go travel, go see stuff you never seen. Don't waste your leave and your money and your time going home to hang out with your friends that you left. Like that was the reason you left. Don't go back.
I got a question.
Yes.
I got a question for Army Princess. So when you were in Japan, like I know when I was in Hawaii, they had like certain like schools that you can go to there, but you can't get anywhere else. So like the I think it's called the German proficiency. I can't even say it. The German badge.
The gap.
But like, yep. So did you have anything like that in Japan that you would be able to take advantage of, or people should know about that they can get while they're only there for most part?
I think they had something because we had the Japanese army that came on base, that trained with us, that came into the pharmacy.
They didn't have. I don't think they have like a medal or
nothing like
anything with the Japanese ground self-defense force, because we told them they're not allowed to have an army anymore. But
there was some experiences that you can only get. Like I said, we trained. We had the Japanese army that came on base.
Ground self-defense force.
I don't know what they was called, but they came on base.
But yeah, not like the GAFB or the I forgot the other one that we can do. That's mostly the European section. But they did have the program where you could complete some of the events for the GAFB, and then I think we did the shoots and snares when we were in Germany. So those are two different things depending on which unit you're in
and where you are.
But most of those are like around combat arms units, when you can do those types of events.
Okay, cool. What's up?
Many people might not know, but I got my shoots and snares.
Mm-hmm.
No one cares.
He mad because he went to basic training on a ship in the building. Oh, she going to the Army. Thank you for clearing that up. Army.
Oh, I thought you was a rider.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to you. Hey, join us on the next live because I don't know what we're talking about, but if you have MOS related questions, let us know.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and end this live because we've been on for 1 hour and 20 minutes. I appreciate y'all tuning into the live. Go ahead and shop the site right after this. The discount code will still be available. And on that note, I will see you all in the next one. Bye.
You wasn't like no